There was a 10-year window when American car manufacturers built the most insane road cars on the planet. No other country came close. No other era has matched it. This is the story of the American muscle car era, how it started, why it exploded, and what killed it. It began in 1964, in a boardroom that was supposed to say no. General Motors had a rule. Mid-size cars could not be fitted with engines larger than 330 cubic inches. The rule existed to prevent the company's divisions from competing with each other, and to keep insurance costs manageable for buyers. John DeLorean at Pontiac found a way around it. He repackaged a 389 cubic inch V8 as an option package rather than a standard engine. Technically, Pontiac wasn't selling a car with a big engine. They were selling a car that happened to offer a large engine as an accessory. The Pontiac GTO launched in 1964 and destroyed GM's conservative sales projections. The market had spoken. Young Americans wanted power, and they would pay for it. Detroit listened. What followed was a horsepower war unlike anything the industry had seen before or since. Ford answered the GTO with the Mustang and then the Shelby GT500. Chevrolet launched the Camaro. Dodge brought the Charger. Plymouth offered the Roadrunner. Mercury built the Cyclone. Oldsmobile had the 442. Buick produced the GSX. Every manufacturer, every division, every brand manager in Detroit understood the same thing. Young buyers wanted performance, and the competition was fierce enough that standing still meant falling behind. The engines got bigger. 396 cubic inches. 427, 440, 454. Some of these engines produced numbers that modern performance cars would respect. The 1969 Dodge Charger Daytona was fitted with a 426 Hemi engine and a nose cone so aerodynamically extreme that it looked like a concept car. It was designed specifically to win at Daytona Speedway, where it reached over 200 miles per hour and did exactly what it was built to do. The 1970 Chevelle SS 454 produced 450 horsepower in its LS6 specification. The factory quarter-mile time was under 14 seconds. In 1970, that was genuinely terrifying. The Plymouth Roadrunner was designed for buyers who wanted pure performance without the extras. No carpets, no refinement, just engine. Dodge named it after the cartoon character and fitted it with a horn that went beep beep. It sold over 44,000 units in its first year. But the golden era had a hard deadline. The first blow was insurance. By the late 1960s, insurers had started pricing high-performance vehicles at rates that made them unaffordable for the young buyers they were aimed at. A 20-year-old trying to insure a 450 horsepower muscle car was looking at annual premiums that could rival the car payment. Then came 1973. The oil crisis hit American consumers hard. Fuel prices spiked overnight. Long queues formed at petrol stations. The idea of running a 7-liter V8 daily became not just expensive but embarrassing, a symbol of exactly the kind of wastefulness that had made America dependent on foreign oil. Congress responded with new regulations. Emission standards tightened. Fuel economy requirements emerged. The Clean Air Act demanded cleaner engines. The manufacturers had to comply. And compliance required sacrifice. Compression ratios dropped. Engines were detuned to run on the new unleaded fuels. Horsepower numbers collapsed. The 1975 Pontiac GTO, the car that had started everything, produced 200 horsepower. Less than half what the early models had offered. By the mid-1970s, the muscle car era was effectively over. The cars were still being made. The names were still on the badges. but the soul had left them. What remained was a generation of young people who remembered what these cars had been, and who never forgot it. The original muscle cars became collectibles almost immediately. By the 1980s, clean first-generation GTOs and Chargers and Shelby Mustangs were already appreciating. By the 1990s, they were serious collector items. Today, the most desirable examples sell for hundreds of thousands of dollars. A 1969 Camaro 1 Zelati, the rare version with the all-aluminum 427 engine, recently sold for over $400,000. For a car that originally cost under $5,000 new. The muscle car era lasted roughly 10 years. From the 1964 GTO to the emissions-strangled versions of the mid-1970s, the window was brief. But in those 10 years, American manufacturers built machines of such absurd, exhilarating excess that they have never been forgotten. And never will be. Subscribe for the full story behind every legend. New video every week, no filler, just the cars that actually mattered. Next up, the EV revolution. How electric cars went from a punchline to beating supercars on track.